Hi, how? Welcome to my tube. My name's Margie. I'm a Hilk empath, and I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. And today I feel alright. I got no complaints. Sure, everybody has complaints if they look for them, but I ain't looking for none today, so fine by me. Sometimes I get to live life fully as a full extension of myself, and sometimes I'm made to go within and think about things. That's one of those times for me. And this morning I'm thinking about 7.2 billion Earths. See, there is one Earth, Gaia, nature, all encompassing. If you were to take every single human being, spirit off this Earth in human form, and you leave what's left, what this Earth would do brings tears to my eyes. It really does. When people just let things go, grow organically, naturally. Yeah, stuff happens, Everything has a cycle. Everything has a shelf life. Everything has an expiration date, except for our spirit. I think that people have, but we have the human experience. That's what we're all doing here. Is we're having a human experience. Our perception of our account as recorded from the start date of our birth time. And our birth time kind of sets precedent of the witness of how we're going to, based on the astrology, of how we're going to report our account. See, now with 7 billion people on the earth and everybody has a different account of how things are going right now, isn't it time to bring one consciousness, a clearer idea of how things are? I mean, for years and years and years, because money ain't even real, but people have been, it's a power play. It's a power thing. So they've been freaking doing all this, creatively coming up with ways to acquire money because, that sets people apart. That's a way to set people apart. We're all the same, man. We're all the same. Ain't no better than anybody else. Ain't nobody else better than me. Unless you want to throw your ego into it, then yeah. Then power plays come into play. So you have all these different versions of how the world is. And I've been a part... Ooh. Pay attention, Marge. Doing too much? Okay, I will be mindful. I break things, man. I do. I don't mean to, but I find the highest, the most positive, and the most negative point in every single thing, in everything that has an energetic field, and everything has an energy field. And I find, and people don't like it when you find their breaking point. Doesn't mean I'm going to use it, just means I'm not going to know what it is. People don't like that. Yeah, it's a power, but just because I got the power doesn't mean I use it. I got a lot of powers I don't use. It's called discipline. Because I don't believe that you can take on people's free will and you can't invade people's energy. And if people don't want to know you, leave them be. I've been that pressing presence. I care so much. I care so much. I just want to be your friend. I've fucking annoyed people my whole entire life. Always have. Marge, why don't you be about 80%, Marge? That's what people tell me when I'm going to go hang out with someone. Be about 80%. I'm like, I'm unlimited, I have no capacity. So what's 80% of no capacity? And then, and then I get all heady about what I'm going to say. Is that the 20% of Marge I shouldn't say, or the 80% of what I should? It's all that stuff. So I try not to let people determine my definitions of me. I did for a long time, and as you can tell, it causes a great deal of confusion. So, because people wanted division, for whatever reason, we have a time right now. We have an opportunity. Now is the time in history over any other. We could emerge from, it doesn't matter how, whatever situation got the world, the why of it, that got us into this situation, it doesn't matter. We could emerge with entirely different consciousness, where we could live as one conscious, where more people have the same idea about, like people can come to America and experience America, and they'll appreciate it. People in other countries do not like Americans. Americans in America don't like Americans. Hello. causing a divide, but once more people start figuring out that we are all the same, and all we want to do is take care of our families. All we want to do is hang out with our families and our loved ones. It's the stressors of not being able to do that that creates freaking domestic violence. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of that stuff. I mean, we have an opportunity to make peace on earth for the first time ever. Ever. We could do it on our watch. We could make peace on earth around the whole entire world. And I see, and you know what? And the astrology is fitting right up with the ego stuff, because I see China preparedness. I'm like, dude, there ain't no military preparedness. They all fucking let themselves go, man. So what, you got a freaking couple, you know? They all let themselves go. Even the mechanics that freaking get the parts that fix the planes. I know it. I worked with them. 20 years later, I don't think they got more freaking harder working. And I heard the stories all throughout. God, it's like a nut house down there. Can't get parts, can't do this, can't do that. Why? Because all the money, it's up to $716 billion military profits. It all goes to the bells and whistles. It all goes into renovating and letterhead and changing that like every few months, because that's what they call progress, is change and innovation, and it's all landfill. Is it making sense? And people got to stop giving their money towards people that they don't freaking, you don't like. And people are getting real big on what they believe in right now. They're freaking they're negative and they're positive are starting to spark up, and they're starting to find their passion, things that they believe in. And I really don't want to see freaking people fighting in the streets and stuff like that. We could have peace on earth, but first there's going to be contention. I already know it. It's funny, I watched an old video this morning somebody had watched that reminded me of it. Get off the pot. Path of Totality. It was like the day after the Great American Eclipse. I put it in my oldies but goodies playlist if you want to check it out. It's I'm mad. Hair's bald, a shaved head. Noble's in it, my little sweet Noble. He went on. He's hanging out the Rainbow Bridge waiting. I was mad, I'm less mad. That's the thing, is that's one of the cool things about my tube, is because we can see the progressions and how people change. And one of my greatest life lessons is to release the density of the low vibrational feelings and emotions such as anger and fear, to rise above it so I can tap into my creativity. Cat wants in. Anybody in the talkie room? Hi Mel C, hi Brink. Thank you. I appreciate that. And you are an amazing soul, because you see it in me. I make tech glitchy. I try to keep my energy field down. It's called an electronic slider. I kind of mentioned it the other day. And the thing, because I tell that because it doesn't fail. And the higher my vibe grows, it's every time I go into a grocery store. And I don't go or flower shop. Whenever there's an electric transaction, I physically have to keep back away from the equipment, because it sputters and hesitates and stuff like that. We're all frequency. See, and the higher you vibe, everybody's going to be... There's a movie that I watched a while back. It was Emma Stone and Bradley Cooper. I can't remember the name of it. And there's a whole scene with two bros communicating, having a nonverbal communication. That's how we can all be. And think about, that's the direction we're moving. I'm talking about probably 100 years or, a couple off into the future, but how many times I will have passed and then be reincarnated back in just to watch to see if my videos did any good. Isn't that neat? Yeah. And the thing is that our intentions now can go back and change history, because that's how time is. That's how time goes, I believe. So we can really, if more people are sorry about what happened, like I am, in being a part of the Enola Gay. And if you want to look that up, feel free. I was stationed at Offit. That's where it was modified, the Enola Gay. That is great karma to be transmuted. That's what energetic sensitives like me do. We're just like positive, 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 and we're assigned in negative places to add some positivity, and then catches on, we go someplace else. Kind of like that show I used to watch, Highway to Heaven, Michael Landon. That's been coming up. It's a lot of past stuff's coming up in history, or because it's retrograde season. Lovely stuff. I was thinking this morning about a walk Mom and I took, 13-mile walk. Well, it was probably a little less. We were a little on the outskirts of town, from Morro Bay to San Luis one time when the car broke down. You know, and I think about all the miles I've walked, all the things I've done, all the things I've seen. I'm only 46 years old. I've got a lot more to do, and I think about all the people that have just done the same thing every day, over and over and over. And that doesn't sound like fun to me at all. So the playing field is leveling, is what's happening. So the 77.2 billion different Earths we have are aligning more into one Earth and more into one consciousness. So if I get an idea of what things are going to be like in across the pond, and I go there, it's going to be like that. Because like attracts like, and everybody's raising in vibration, and all that lower density shit, all that greed, fear, opportunistic shit, it can't live in 5D. It's like a cockroach in the sun. It physically cannot. It's like viruses. Some viruses in temperatures. It can't live in certain conditions. Yeah. It's frequency. It's like I've done talks about it before, and now I'm hearing other people talk about like the difference between analog AM and FM radio. I get so excited I get my wires crossed. I get so excited I blur. And I buffer. I make things buffer. I will take a train. Oh, I was thinking about taking trains this morning. I think I got a buddy on it. She's been hanging out up in Redding at her folks' house, Amy. She lives down in San Francisco. I think she's heading back today. I think she goes by train. I just love to see shit. I freaking, and I'm frugal, right? So like, I was thinking yesterday about when I got out of tech school in Wichita Falls. You could go home for like 12 days. They call it recruiter's assistance. They call it, see, there's all these different rules. They call it recruiter's assistance, but it's paid vacation. You have to bring the recruiter piece of paper. It's basically paid vacation, extra vacation, before you go to your duty station. It's, it's all a racket. Everything's a racket. But if you tell people it's a racket, blow that whistle, then I'm against the racket, and people profit too much from the racket, so I'm a jerk. I'm like, I don't have water. How can I be a jerk? I don't profit from the racket. Stupid bureaucrats. Bureaucrats. Coined here today, right here, right now. That even goes aligned with my planetary alignments. Bureaucrats. I get natal configurations, and they give you little tidbits about them. And that was it for today. Now I can't find it. Bureaucrats. The bureaucrats. I want it this way because I said so. When I lived in Omaha, there was this road that I used to I used to pass on the road. I'm not even kidding. It was like 2 years, every 2 years. I lived there 7 years, and I saw them do it 3 times. They would tear up the same stretch of road, replace the same pipes. It's just, and then they'd probably say that the same project costs 1.2 billion, but you know, so they need this amount of funds. They make up numbers. That's the thing. I think that's what the gig being up is about. Is that they make up numbers and they're making it up all in their favor, and then because there didn't used to be enough. Maybe there didn't used to be enough, and now there's plenty. Now there's millions and billions. Because people like me, we don't need to live like them. I don't need $10,000 suits like the people that bureaucrats do. You know, I don't live in freaking $1 million homes like the bureaucrat, like the people that make the rules that don't follow them. I don't do, you know, and how many other people don't do that? Yet they have this whole society set up for them, and we're just get to watch. The bureaucrats and the fat cats. You know, we're stepping in, and the cycle that's coming around is that of the same spirit, same heart space as freaking Richard Simmons, Jane Fonda. The fitness craze is coming back. Oh, because it's craze. Yeah, it's not a craze. No, you know what the craze is? Fucking sitting on your fucking head and eating your feelings. That's craze to me. But I did it. I had the craze. Just dull my whatever I could do to just stuff my feelings and ignore them, because they were big and they were powerful and they freaking hurt. But my faith became bigger than my fear and those freaking feelings. See, and I was imbalanced. That was part of my life path, is figuring out my imbalance, because I was the toxic masculine for years and years, because I didn't want to cry, because babies cried. Nobody even told that. I would tell boys that. Why are you crying? You just skinned your knee. Why are you crying? Like out in rough and tumble, we'd rough house and you know, we'd freaking fight is what we do. Tactical fighting when we were kids, and they'd be like, you know, and then they get their feelings hurt and then go home because you play too rough, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we were playing. But then they get, or they take it personal, and then they'd start freaking like pulling, like cheat, like little bitch fight, you know, no holds barred. But there are rules of engagement, and the control freaks just create. As you can look around, we have the evidence of they're just out of control. That's because they're scared. It's because they have to control everything outside themselves, because they don't know how to control the emotions that are ramping inside of them. That is how I tell that people are freaking out inside, is that they feel powerless. And they don't have a power outside of themselves, greater than themselves, that they can plug into and trust in that they're going to be okay. And that must be a really shitty way to live. Well, you don't got to live that way. It's a personal choice. It's a personal freedom. Put down the beer, put down the shit food, lay down, listen to some binaural beats, some classical music, you know, paint, draw, whatever puts you in a zone. It's just being in a zone where you're in the most present moment that you can be, and then you stay in that present moment, and then you practice being in that present moment, and then you go out in the world and you're in the present moment, knowing that you got a spirit. You're just freaking witnessing a human experience, and this ain't that some bullshit. But you don't gotta bring yourself down to those low vibrational frequencies by engaging. I'm Heyoka, I do. Yep. It's part of my role that I've taken on for myself. Yeah. I out-ass the asses. And I can do it in the masses. Yep. People don't like that. Yeah. Because I just act like them, only worse. And then they demonize me, and I'm like, I'm just being you. Oh, see, that's another thing. Thank you, Mel C. It's another thing. Eating, it's the same thing. I tried to throw up my feelings. I tried. There was, I don't like it. And I know other people. That's the thing. This stuff is all related. This stuff, energy, it helps people to eat their feelings, throw up their feelings, don't starve their feelings. That's the same thing. Or drink their feelings. There's all a better way to process your feelings. And we're starting to think more alike so people can do it more on a grand scale. Because for years and years, people are like me. I mean, nobody ever talked about freaking being raped as a baby that I recall in history. It's no, you don't talk about it. It's taboo. It's under their. And then while we were made to be look like don't talk about us, the number of people that it happened to just went whoo, like you think this little go round is bad? The low vibrational of density of dis-ease that's been caused by the sex industry and rape and incest and all that chase and sensation gross shit, it's generational. Like some people go to church on Sundays, some people do their kids. It's just the way of the world, but people have covered it up and it's people that are the bureaucrats. And it's everywhere. It's people, oh no, not them. Oh yeah, them too. And it's a vibrational frequency. You gotta freaking get people, wired right. So, anyway, I better get Mom slept in. It's cloudy today, overcast here today. And so she just got up and out of bed. I got too much energy. I'm like, I'm gonna do it live, put my energy out here, give her a few minutes to wake up, because she doesn't like to eat right when she wakes up. I never did too. I never did either. And it was really funny, the things we figure out. I started doing, all right, Mom, here's, you want breakfast? And no. And then she'd be like, and then I get my feelings hurt because she's crabby, but what I didn't realize, she's not a morning person. I gotta let her wake up. Because I'm a lot. Her little spark, she's fire sign. She's Sagittarius, but her little spark is 69 years old. And the thing, I'm going to finish up on this. I'm going to go get her some breakfasts. I see the most positive and negative in every energetic field. That's why I always break things. I don't mean to. Oh, how does this work? Can it do this? Oh, it wasn't made to do that. My bad. I broke your thing. I will replace it. I just did that the other day. I broke your thing. I'll replace it. I'll get another one. So I will, too. And that's the thing. I'll probably get two. Just because I was there, That's how you clear up the wreckage of your past. If you freaking hurt things or break things, you gotta freaking replace it. And there's way more than 51% that do not have that heart space. But more and more people are going without because the cracks are getting wider and wider. So I was going to tell a story of a breaking point. God, the breaking points. I break things. What was I going to say? I guess that's divine telling me it's your time, Marge. Oh! The 50 Shades of Shit. Yeah. I remember when that came out, a friend of mine was having computer trouble. I'd go to a friend's house and freaking just hang out and clean up their malicious software and shit while they were hanging out playing cards or doing whatever. But they were having a showing of freaking the 50 Shades of Shit. And I'm just like, I mean, I used to watch porn. But it's like, you look at my porn history, it's like sensual, like romantic, love-making shit like that, right? Right? I got no shame. I freaking have been perpetually single my whole life, and I'm a freaking sexual being. Whatever. So, the shame is, when people have shame, it's on them. So, but now it's just like, daddy issues. It's like freaking, it's, sex trafficking, they were taken away. You can tell the storyline, it's just, I see it for what it is, and I don't even watch, it's like investigation, Sometimes I watch to see if I find people I know. Hey, there was a point, since I lived in Oregon, I freaking was like looking in Craigslist, because I freaking was fit. I got my car repoed, I was freaking muscled, I had like a 8-pack, I would like, I never thought I would have a fucking 8-pack. I was I'm like, dude, I bet I could do freaking at least nudie pics to make some money. to pay to freaking get the, you know, because I really didn't know what to do because I couldn't get a job. I had all this experience and education, but in places where I live, like in Salem, you literally cannot get a job unless you know somebody, and I know jack shit. So it's all nepotism. It's all the good old boys club, and I am the contrary to a good old boy. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.